All right, let's do this. There's going to be wind. There'll be wind in this podcast. I'm working on it. I'm trying to figure out a better audio situation. But I stopped podcasting for a while because my mom passed away, and I've been intermittent about it. And back in 2019, when my cousin killed himself, I stopped podcasting for a while as well. I don't know. There's something about the tragic death of a family member that makes me not want to podcast. I'm sensing a theme. But I need to start it back up again. I think ultimately I feel like an idiot doing this because I don't know if anyone is listening. And even if people are listening, it's not very many people. And now I don't mean to disparage the few people that are listening, but my fear is that the few people are listening out of pity. No one else will listen. I'll listen, just because somebody's got to listen to them. And there's the possibility that nobody is listening, in which case I'm worried about nothing, which is the metaphor for my life. And now, of course, there's a garbage truck I'm trying to do this while walking, trying to get some exercise. And of course, it's right when the garbage truck comes. So now I am trying to get to the point where I can get to the next block over to avoid. This is why I hate podcasting. There's always a garbage truck. Well, no, this is why people do it in a studio. This is why it's called a studio. I think that's why they built the first studio. Somebody said, I want to record something and not have a garbage truck in the sound of it. Maybe we should build a structure that keeps the sound of the garbage truck out and podcast from there. Yes, good plan. The problem is that if I'm podcasting correctly, I need to find guests. I should be talking to guests. That's what everyone keeps telling me. No, actually, nobody tells me anything because I don't talk to anyone. But one or two people have mentioned in the past, maybe you should have a guest on the podcast. But there's something important to me about trying to do this all myself. Oh, okay. So now, here's what happened. I try to make a right turn, but the garbage truck is also making a right turn. And for a split second, there's a part of me that's like, is he trying to stop this podcast from getting made? Here's the thing. I don't really think that. But my brain is the kind of brain that would go down that path it wouldn't take much more evidence than what just happened for me to go down that path. So that's a fun brain to have. Very enjoyable, makes life very trusting. But I'm going to keep doing this anyway. Who knows, maybe one day something will come of it. I think if somebody took all the podcasts and all the TikTok videos I've made over the years and cobbled it together, they could turn it into something that they could not sell. But no, it's been about November, December, January, February, March. It's been about 5 months since my mom passed away, and I'm in and out of good days and bad days on it. What I've noticed is that if I'm having a bad day in life, the thought of her death gets worse, because there was a point where she was my therapist, and I would call her and be able to talk to her. And I would call her and tell her what happened, and that way she could process everything I said and try to be diplomatic about it to the point where she takes the other person's side. And I'm like, no, I don't want that. I don't want reason. I don't want logic. How dare you? But I don't have that anymore. So now, I guess, I just have to do it in this podcast format and put that out there to silence. I'm not sure why anyone would listen to this podcast at this point. I feel like I'm bringing you down. Which is, that could be a superpower. Isn't there a Marvel character who their power is they just stand near someone, and after a while that person becomes depressed, and they're like, you know what? I don't feel like doing whatever it is I was going to do, and that's how they save the day, just with a mass depression. I feel like that's a superhero thing that's been done. I'm walking in the morning. Usually I walk at night. But I got up early this morning. I was just awake. And I thought I would walk early. And I'm trying to appreciate the sun and the nature and the birds and be at one with all of it. I'm trying. It is the first time in a long time that the weather's been nicer. So I'm trying to enjoy that. There's probably 2 more days of this, and then it'll go to 105 degrees. That's what it's like, living in climate change. But, all right, I seem to have gotten off the same path as the garbage truck. So that's how I'm doing. What else is happening? I mean, there's things I can't talk about that are work-related. But then, is there even, are those issues even the real issues? They feel like the surface issues. Because there's always issues like that. What's the deeper issue? Now, the deeper issue is I'm not living the life I want to lead. What's the life I want to lead? I want to be a comedian who sells a few tickets, who's eclectic. I want to be, he's the comedian's comedian. That's who I want. Play an occasional supporting role. I want to be, I wouldn't want to be the lead in the Jurassic Park movie. I'd want to be the guy in the Jurassic Park movie saying, I warned all of you. I told you this was going to happen. I have charts. Look at the charts. I told you they were going to get out. I have spreadsheets where I've been tracking all the times they got out, and this is the time that they're going to get out now. So that's how I'm feeling. That's how I'm suddenly turning into William Shatner. That's how I'm feeling today. William Shatner. He had humor. That's why he was good, because he had a sense of humor. It's always important to have a sense of humor. That was a great performance. Well, because he had humor in the performance. That guy who's picking up garbage over there, he's good at his job. Because he's got humor. He uses humor. And lately I've been having discussions with people about Star Trek or The Mandalorian. And at one point, we're in season 3 of Picard, and it's hit and miss with me, to be honest. There have been episodes that I've liked, episodes that I have not liked. And I feel like a tool for complaining about it. What 10-episode series have I produced? That said, I will complain about it a little bit. It doesn't need to be 10 hours. That's what I keep with these limited series. It doesn't need to be 10 hours. They could have done it in 2. But there were a lot of good moments, though. Some fun things happened on this episode, this last one. Finally, I'm not going to go into it because they're spoilers. And you know what? Nobody cares what I think. Nobody really cares. And actually, that's what I keep coming to in the stand-up. I feel like I'm fighting myself in the stand-up right now because there's the comedian that I want to be and the comedian that I am. And what do I mean by that? That it just seems to be better when I describe in detail my own misery. That's what people want. You got to give the audience what they want. Just describe in detail my misery. I'm not even sure they want the jokes. No, just tell us how bad it is for you. Oh, we don't want to hear your opinions on politics or society. Just tell us more about your urology problems. All right. Give the people what they want. I think another big problem I'm having trouble completing. And I mean that in the lascivious way. Completing tasks, projects. I shot a very rough and tumble special about my mom, and it's sitting on my computer. Well, technically it's sitting in a Dropbox file, which is not on my computer. I don't want to lie to you. I don't want to lie about the location of where it is. I don't want to come off as insincere. And I haven't finished it yet. And I got to finish it. I've got to finish it. I just have to put it up somewhere, chop it into pieces, get it out there. Totally got to do it. I know. Why am I dragging my heels? Why am I also dragging my heels, by the way, on scattering my mom's ashes? Why is that happening? Maybe I'm holding on to it. You know what? I can apply some emotional reason for it and say that I'm holding on. The reality is it's a 2-hour drive to where I want to do it. And I just don't want to drive. It is pure laziness. My mother is in Burbank. I know that she wouldn't want her ashes in Burbank. She doesn't want to be in Burbank. You can't smoke in Burbank. And even though she's dead, even though she is ash, this is awful for her. I do feel better when I talk through this. I do feel better after podcasting. I need to keep doing this. I know. All right, I'm going to do this. I think this is about all I can do today. What did we do? About 10 minutes? 13 minutes. All right. Until next week.